Is your AI company just Webvan with a chatbot? Some AI companies we're seeing today are just Webvan with a chatbot. Now that may sound a little harsh, but stay with me because I'm not saying AI is a fad. AI is absolutely real. AI is going to transform nearly every industry. It'll change how we market, how we sell, how we operate, how we communicate, how we develop products, how we make decisions. But a transformational technology does not automatically create a sustainable business. Sometimes a company can be completely right about the future and completely wrong about how to build a profitable business around it. And that's exactly what happened to Webvan. And I believe some of the AI companies appearing today are heading towards that same cliff. Webvan, in case you don't know, was founded in the late 90s by Louis Border, one of the founders of Border's books. The idea was revolutionary at the time. Customers would go online, they would order their groceries, they would have them delivered directly to their homes within a convenient delivery window. Now today, that sounds perfectly normal. Amazon Fresh, Instacart, Walmart, supermarkets across the country now offer some version of it. But Webvan saw the future. The problem was that Webvan tried to build the entire future before it proved that the underlying business could support it. The company invested in massive, highly automated distribution centers. It purchased fleets of customized delivery vehicles. It developed proprietary technology, announced plans to expand into 26 markets. Webvan committed to $1 billion warehouse expansion strategy before proving that it could operate one market consistently and profitably. In 2001, Webvan filed for bankruptcy after 4 years, burning through $1.2 billion in capital. I remember this story particularly well because I lived through it. At the time, I had founded the Daily Market, one of the early online grocery and meal delivery companies. And after we were acquired by a supermarket chain, Webvan became a constant topic in our board meetings. There was one board member who just couldn't let it go. It brought up Webvan in every single meeting. Every conversation eventually came back to the same warning. Webvan is going to put traditional supermarkets out of business. The fear was that Webvan had so much money, such technology, media attention that traditional supermarkets needed to copy its strategy immediately. From the outside, Webvan looked unstoppable, had the funding, had the technology, had the sophisticated warehouses, had delivery vehicles, had national ambitions. It also had something many companies love to have: hype. The problem was that Webvan did not have sustainable unit economics. The company was losing money as it attempted to serve its customers. Adding more customers did not necessarily improve the business. In many cases, it just expanded the problem. And that's one of the most important lessons founders need to understand about scaling. If you lose money on every transaction, volume is not your friend. You cannot make it up by selling more. You simply lose money faster, but with more impressive charts. Not long after Webvan collapsed, that board member was removed. The issue was not that they failed to recognize the future of online grocery shopping. The issue was that they had allowed fear and competitive hype to replace analysis. That same dynamic is appearing again today with artificial intelligence. Everywhere you look, another AI company is being launched. AI content companies, AI marketing companies, AI sales agents, AI customer service tools, AI research platforms, AI productivity applications, AI agents designed to manage other AI agents. Apparently, even the robots now need middle management. Some of these companies are building extraordinary products that solve real and expensive problems. Others are a little more than a polished interface sitting on top of someone else's foundation model. Now, that's an important concept because they don't own the underlying model. They don't have the proprietary data. They're not embedded deeply into the customer's workflow. They have no meaningful distribution advantage. Their product can be copied quickly. Their pricing doesn't always account for the true cost of computing, inference, support, human oversight. They may generate an enormous amount of output, but output is not the same as value. And that's where the term AI slop becomes relevant. We usually use AI slop to describe the flood of generic articles, social media posts, images, videos filling the internet. But AI slop may also be becoming a business model. Build a simple interface connected to an existing model, add AI power to the website, generate some impressive demonstrations, acquire users with heavily subsidized pricing. Call the initial curiosity product market fit, then start talking about scale. But that's not necessarily a business. It may simply be a feature with a marketing budget. And this is not only about whether the technology works. Webvan's technology worked. Customers could order groceries and have them delivered. The question was whether Webvan could deliver those groceries at a cost that created a sustainable business. AI founders need to ask the same question. Can you deliver the outcome at a cost that allows you to acquire customers, serve them, retain them, and still generate an acceptable profit? AI companies face real marginal costs. Every query, every image, every video, every analysis, and automated workflow consumes computing resources. According to Bessemer Venture Partners, some of the fastest growing AI companies have operated at an average gross margin of around 25%, with certain companies running near zero or even negative. More durable AI businesses in its research were closer to 60% gross margin. And that can still be a very good business, but it's not the 80 or 90% gross margin software models that many founders and investors may be using in their projections. The danger is assuming that scale will automatically repair the economics. Sometimes scale improves margins. Sometimes scale simply accelerates the trip towards the cliff. So how can an AI founder determine whether they're building a durable business or a Webvan with a chatbot? I'd start with 5 questions, and here they are. First, what happens to your margins when usage increases? If your customer base grows tenfold, do your economics improve? Or do your compute, support, and human review expenses grow just as quickly? Growth should create leverage. If every dollar of new revenue requires nearly another dollar of expense, you may be building a service disguised as software. Second, what happens if your model provider changes the rules? If the company providing your underlying model increases its prices, changes its terms, limits access, can your business survive? If you rely completely on another company's infrastructure, you do not control one of your most important costs. That doesn't mean you should build your own foundation model. It means you need to understand and manage the dependency. Third, what happens if the underlying platform adds your feature? If OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, or another major platform launches your primary feature tomorrow, do customers still need your product? If the answer is no, you may not have a company. You may have a temporary interface. The real moat may come from proprietary data, specialized expertise, workflow integration, customer relationships, distribution, or the ability to produce a better measurable outcome. And fourth, are customers renewing because of value or experimenting because of curiosity? Signing up is not the same as adopting. Adopting is not the same as renewing, and renewing is not the same as expanding. The real test begins after the novelty disappears. Would the customers be disappointed if your product went away? If not, you have more work to do. And finally, what measurable outcome does the product create? Does it help the customer make more money? Does it reduce costs? Does it save meaningful time? Does it improve accuracy? Does it reduce risk? Does it eliminate an expensive bottleneck? We create content faster is not necessarily an outcome. What happened because you created that content faster? Did sales improve? Did customer acquisition costs decline? Did conversion rates increase? Did the company require fewer resources to achieve the same result? AI output is not the product. The business outcome is the product. Webvan's mistake was not believing in online grocery delivery. That future arrived. Its mistake was building massive infrastructure before validating sustainable demand and economics. And some AI companies are making the exact same mistake. They're building output before validating value. They're scaling usage before understanding retention. They're celebrating revenue before calculating contribution margin. They're treating investor enthusiasm as customer validation. Different technology, same mirage. AI is not the problem. The absence of business fundamentals is the problem. Hype can buy attention. Capital can buy time. Technology can create possibilities. but none of them can permanently repair broken unit economics. So if you're building an AI company, do not ask only whether the technology is impressive. Ask whether the business becomes stronger every time another customer uses it. Do not confuse AI adoption with product market fit. Don't confuse generated output with customer value. And don't confuse rapid growth with healthy scale. The future can be right while the business model is wrong. And I'm not saying give up. Never, ever give up. Just be dangerous about how you grow. Look at what just happened to Starbucks. They bought a pitch from an AI company to take store-level inventory using an iPad, a camera. It worked great when they showed it to them in the controlled environment with great lighting. In actuality, it couldn't tell oat milk from almond milk and couldn't count. 9 months later, Starbucks scrapped it, millions wasted because they chased the bright, shiny thing. I'm Phil Masiello. I've spent more than 30 years building, scaling, and exiting businesses, and today I help founders identify the bottlenecks preventing them from reaching their next stage of growth. So if you want more honest conversations about scaling, about leadership, about the mechanics behind sustainable growth, subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments. What AI company or category looks unstoppable today but may not have the economics to survive? Let me know.